So, on December 31st of 2020, Alex Wassabi announced that he's taking a long overdue break. He said that he's been burned out with the constant hustle, and the title, I'm not going to say it's clickbaity or misleading, but definitely it grabs your attention, and there's enough truth to it that doesn't meet that criteria of clickbait. Probably looking too much into it. But anyway, so he gives some backstory about how since 15 years ago, you could argue that this guy is OG YouTube. He's been in the game since 2006. I mean, that's right up there with Smosh and Ryan Higa, pretty much the glory days of YouTube. And he says that his dad is one of those people who, if he had money and resources, then his friends had money and resources. And, because of that, he was really able to do what he was able to do on YouTube. And, that's commendable. It's a really great thing to have friends and family who will support you and help push you towards your dreams. Not just with words of affirmation, but, actual resources. And that's cool. And he didn't waste those opportunities. He did something with them. But it's kind of interesting. Here's a contrast between the old style of media and the new media that really came into its own foray about 15 years ago. So I think he's realized something that, say, somebody like Seth MacFarlane. I almost said Seth Rogen. He realized something that even Seth MacFarlane knew at one time, but we can all tell that he's kind of forgotten, that you need to take a break, that you will get fatigued and it's going to show up in your work. Now, I'm not intimately familiar with Alex Wassabi's content. Presumably, I can't tell that there has been any drop of quality in his videos, but I think he's made the observation that if you don't maintain yourself, he does mention mental health, that it's going to affect you. And so, I just listened to a In Talks interview with Jim Carrey, to where he said he was Andy Kaufman for 4 months, and he said, if I could be Andy Kaufman and not be Jim for so long, then who was Jim really except for another character? And Alex makes similar comments, although not to the extent that Jim Carrey did. And I think he saw that potential trap that he could have fallen into, and he was smart enough to avoid it. So, he says how he started it 15 years ago. He was just a kid, and he knew who he was back then. But as time went on, he kind of forgot who he really was, and he started to think of the persona more as his identity. So he's wondering, who am I really? Now, as I said before, the title of the video gets your attention, and it's meant to. But the thing is, he does say he might not be gone forever, or he might. He leaves that up as a possibility. He says he'll probably come back in February if he feels like it. And I get that. I've had moments of being in the wilderness where I'm like, do I really want to do something? So what happens is, now he doesn't say something like everything will be back to normal. What he does say is the next video that he uploads, probably in February, might be his most important video ever. And he does mention that there's somebody in his life and he wants to see how that goes, and he wants to make them a priority. And kudos to you for that. A lot of people will put a career or ambitions above the ones they love. So I have to commend you for recognizing what is really important. So, Alex, I don't know you too well on YouTube, but you sound like a stellar guy, and I hope you do the things that you need to do in order to make yourself happier and healthier. And have a good one, and peace.